Hi, I'm Anna Housman. I am a pediatric speech therapist and an orofacial myofunctional therapist here at Emerge Pediatric Therapy. Today, I want to talk to you about chewing. I spend a lot of my day, maybe most of my day, talking about and teaching chewing. So why is it important? I feel like when I see parents out and about, and I even thinking back to when my daughter was a baby, the big panic is, oh, keep stuff out of their mouth. But we need to be creating healthy chewing habits and providing safe chewing experiences for growth and development and feeding. And most of the time when I say this to parents, they have no idea that that's a thing. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about chewing today. So why is it important that we chew? As adults, it's important as toddlers, infants, it's important that we are chewing to take in food and nutrients, right? But also chewing does a lot more than that. As we are developing the ability to chew, we're building muscle in our face, we're building bone in our face. Bone is created and thickened by forces and pressure applied on regular intervals. So for a child who's not doing a lot of chewing, we're going to see low tone probably in their cheeks, low muscle tone. We may also find that they have as they get older, they have more malocclusion or misalignment of teeth. They may not have quite enough space, and they may have thinner or weaker bone. On the flip side of that, when we have kids who chew too hard or adults who are grinding their teeth, we find that there's more bony prominences within the mouth created because of excess pressure. So we're looking to create just the right amount of pressure so that our facial bones and our facial muscles develop symmetrically and evenly over time. So why else is chewing important? When we chew different types of foods and textures, it helps us with our gag reflex. It helps decrease the chances of picky eating. And then as we get older, it helps us with focus and regulation. How many of you are gum chewers? The joke around the clinic is I'm a chronic gum chewer. I always have gum in my mouth, and to be honest, including right now. It helps me to stay focused and alert. There have been studies done on it, on the effects of like chewing gum and focus and attention. And when you're feeling anxious, a lot of people go to chewing on their fingernails. You'll find children who are chewing on their hair or chewing on pencils. So that is something that we are naturally driven to do when we're feeling anxious or upset. So how can we provide safe chewing experiences and help develop healthy chewing habits? And there's lots of ways. I'm going to talk to you today about a few of my favorite Ark Therapeutic tools and how I recommend them and use them in therapy and how you can use them at home. So chewing really does start as a baby. One of my favorite chews is our wide chew. They do come in different strengths. I like the softer one. And I love this because you have these long extension pieces that make it great and a great handle for a baby who can hold this and get this as far back as where their back molars will come in. So they can get chewing and really start moving that tongue around and getting something back here. And you know what? The chances are when they chew on this, they're going to hit their gag reflex and gag, and we're going to stay calm during that moment because that's how we move our gag reflex back. So anything long, stick-shaped, easy to hold so that the baby can have control over and learn, oh, that's too far, bring it back out. Oh, this is a just right spot. And once we get chews further back in the mouth, so not just chewing from the front, but when we get it further back, you can see we're activating more tongue muscle and our tongue starts to lateralize, which means to move to the side. So that's super important as our infants get older and start exploring with solid foods. That tongue needs to be moving to the side because that's how we keep food on a chew surface as we're eating. Food needs to stay between our cheek muscles and our tongue in order to be an effective chew and get a good bolus formation, which is just a fancy word for getting all of that mushy food you've chewed up into one like swallowable lump. So that's for my babies. For my toddlers, and as we're starting to get teeth, I love grabbers. Again, things that are easy to hold for little hands. Everything on this is chewable. This one has some bumps and ridges, which are great for providing sensory information and helping prep the mouth as well to accept different textured foods. Again, they come in different strengths depending on your chewer. I do have older clients who use these and use the less flexible ones because they have stronger teeth and jaws at that point. But these I love for my toddlers. Again, that long stick shape. While you can do some chewing here, we don't really chew with our front teeth, right? Our central incisors, these guys, they're really designed for biting and tearing. And then all of the chewing is supposed to be happening back here. I find that lots of my kiddos are still chewing right here, so not very effective. This is a great way to encourage chewing back here. There are some other grabbers too that are hollow. I have 2 of them with me. And they, again, like this one's pretty flexible versus this one, which is a little bit harder. I do enjoy a hollow tubed chew because as you're chewing, you're getting a little more give and feedback. But then as my kids get older, I like to move on to chewies that are easy to wear and keep so they're not kind of getting dirty and yucky. And then they look fun. Kids are more likely to wear them. My daughter is currently obsessed with dinosaurs and she wears her T-Rex chewy everywhere she goes. But now these can be worn around the neck. You can chew on them as needed. Then if you're not chewing on them, it's not quite as like obvious and odd looking as if I were wearing a grabber. So these come in all sorts of different shapes. This is a Lego one. My daughter has a dinosaur and a flower and a fairy wand. Can't remember if she has any others, but we've got crystals and lightsabers, and they come in all sorts of fun shapes. And recently Ark just came out with some really muted colors and simpler shapes and designs that are designed with teenagers and adults in mind to look a little less childlike and to be able to transition into an older age where if you still need to chew, it's a little less babyish. So those are some of my favorite recommendations for encouraging chewing and offering safe chewing experiences. If you've got questions, pop them in the comments, send us a DM. I would love to talk to you more about chewing. I know it sounds like a strange thing to enjoy talking about, but one of my favorite topics. So I hope you found that helpful, and we look forward to sharing more with you later.